Hey, this is Jeff Brooks with the Remax of Orange Beach and the Gotti team for your November 5-minute market update. We're going to cover the same things we usually do: interest rates, pricing, and inventory. So let's get started. So since last month, there's been a continued shift in the interest rate. It's now just under 7. I'll show you that slide. Price increases have plateaued here in Baldwin County, both for residential homes and townhomes, condos, and then inventory related to that pricing. Condos and townhomes are above traditional levels, and residential homes are still below traditional levels of inventory available to choose from. And if that's all the time you've got, you can skip and go to the next thing, but I've got some details to back those bold statements up. So interest rate, again, pulled this from the St. Louis Federal Reserve site. They've got a bunch of data there, but you can see that sharp drop to the right side of this slide. We're currently at 6.95 on average across the U.S. You may have heard last week the Fed is suggesting they could reduce rates as much as 3 times next year. There are some consensus estimates that look like most of the experts, a lot smarter than me, think that's probably going to happen, toward the end of first quarter or early second quarter. We'll see. Time will be the only judge there. Here's the slide that I show every month from Baldwin County, which is the roll-up of traditional and resort-based. You can see that the number of sales in traditional dropped from December of last year. Resort island sales from last year dropped. And then you can see a change in pricing in resort and island base and an increase in traditional. I don't like looking at the individual month to month right now, and you'll see why when I get to the trend slide. There's been some fairly significant variability over the last few months that contribute to what appear to be big changes year over year in a month to month view. So let's take a look at that. So in the coastal condos, again, this is some of my statements around the significant shifts. You'll remember last month, coastal condos were down. Well, they were up November to November this time. And coastal homes were slightly up, but they're significantly up November to November this time. So to my point, you can't really tell what's happening when you look at just a 1 month this year compared to 1 month last year. But the other piece here, the total dollars sold in each of those categories, is a little bit helpful. You start to see where the activity is occurring. Central Baldwin, Eastern Shore, coastal condos, and coastal homes are all settling in around the same range here. And here's why I said the prices have plateaued. On the left, you've got condos and townhomes. I didn't separate it out by coastal and everything else, but there's certainly a lot more condos and townhomes near the beach in short-term rental areas than there are the rest of the county. And then single family, both of these prices or price increases appear to have plateaued. And you'll see the significant swings on the left just above the, I think that's $500,000 mark. And again, even in the single family home, some fairly significant swings month to month over the 350 range, which is why I suggest it's hard to compare this month this year to this month last year at this point. And you can look back, and at least in the single family, those swings were not as significant for most of the past. Inventory, and you'll remember last month I suggested we might be on track to be back to normal inventory levels sometime next year. Well, the condos and townhomes are slightly above traditional levels. What that could mean is now would be a great time to look at that category if you're looking to make a purchase. Some sellers are going to be more willing to negotiate when there's more inventory on the market. Additionally, remember the slide, interest rates are starting to come back down. I know of some mortgage companies that are offering to discount their fees should you want to refinance in the next year. So, might be a great time to be looking at that category. Excuse me. Single family home trend, still below, climbing. We'll see what happens there with time. I hear questions, certainly during times of market transition. Is this normal? Is this something unusual? What's happening? Well, there is a cycle in our area of, when things tend to sell. This time of year tends to be one of those lower periods. The chart on the left shows the closed sales over the last several years, and you can see that cycle year to year with my little blue arrows going up and back down from this time of season. On the right, you've got the showings per listing. And I've got that because I think that's a leading indicator of what's going to happen over the next few months. You can see it's down at some of the lower places it's ever been. It's been trending down for some time. Is that a leading indicator? Or are we going to see it tick back up? Or is it, where we are in the market right now? Again, can't predict the future, but I can sure show you what's happening now. You can make your own decisions. So that's all I've got for this month. I hope this was helpful for you. As always, would love to get your feedback, your questions, or for your specific areas you'd like for me to focus on this 5-minute update each month. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.